The SS Edmund Fitzgerald was a mighty freighter. It was built in 1959 and ruled the Great Lakes for 16 years. The ship was named after a prominent insurance executive from Wisconsin. The Fitzgerald was a symbol of American industrial power. It transported taconite pellets which were used in steel production. The Fitzgerald was a sight to behold. It was 729 feet long, making it the largest ship on the Great Lakes at its launch. It was a workhorse, capable of carrying over 26,000 tons of cargo. It sailed between the mines of the upper Great Lakes and industrial centers including Detroit, Toledo, and Cleveland. The Fitzgerald's size and power were impressive, but it was the crew that gave the ship its heart. They were experienced sailors who navigated the treacherous waters of the Great Lakes, facing storms and harsh conditions. The Fitzgerald was a vital part of the Great Lakes shipping industry, playing a crucial role in the region's economy. On November 9, 1975, the Edmund Fitzgerald set out on what seemed like a routine trip. It departed from Superior, Wisconsin, loaded with 26,135 tons of taconite pellets. Its destination was Detroit, Michigan. The captain was Ernest M. McSorley, a veteran of the Great Lakes with 44 years of experience. Aboard the Fitzgerald were 28 other crew members, all seasoned sailors prepared for the challenges of a late-season voyage. There was an expectation of rough weather, but the initial forecast did not suggest anything out of the ordinary. The Fitzgerald was a powerful ship that had weathered many storms before. The mood on board was likely a mix of routine and anticipation. The crew would have been focused on their duties, likely looking forward to reaching their destination. The Fitzgerald was a community unto itself. The men worked, ate, and lived together, forming strong bonds. As the Fitzgerald steamed eastward across Lake Superior, the weather began to deteriorate. A powerful storm system was moving in from the west, bringing with it hurricane-force winds and towering waves. This was not unusual for the Great Lakes in November, but this storm was particularly intense. The National Weather Service began issuing gale warnings, which were broadcast to ships on the lakes. The warnings indicated winds of up to 50 knots. The Fitzgerald, along with another ship, the Arthur M. Anderson, found themselves caught in the path of the storm. The Anderson was also carrying a load of taconite pellets and was sailing in the same general direction as the Fitzgerald. The storm intensified rapidly. By the afternoon of November 10th, winds were gusting over 70 knots and waves were reaching heights of 20 feet or more. The Fitzgerald and the Anderson battled the storm's fury, tossed about like toys. The conditions were extremely dangerous. Section 4. A desperate struggle against the storm. As the storm raged, the Fitzgerald's captain, Ernest McSorley, stayed in contact with the Arthur M. Anderson. The two ships were in radio contact. They discussed the worsening conditions. They shared information about their positions. Captain Jesse Cooper of the Anderson later recalled McSorley's calm demeanor. He sounded professional, even as the storm intensified. Around 7:10 p.m., the Fitzgerald reported that it had lost both its radar and its depth sounder. This was a critical situation. The ship was sailing blind in a raging storm. Despite the challenges, McSorley assured the Anderson that they were holding our own. These would be the last words ever heard from the Fitzgerald. At approximately 7:20 p.m., the Anderson lost radar contact with the Fitzgerald. It vanished from the screens. Attempts to re-establish communication were unsuccessful. The Anderson searched for the Fitzgerald throughout the night, but the storm made the search efforts treacherous. The Coast Guard was notified. A full-scale search and rescue operation was launched. Section 5. The Mystery of the Vanishing Giant. Despite an extensive search effort, no survivors were found. The Fitzgerald had vanished without a trace. The only sign of the mighty ship was a few life jackets and debris. This was found floating on the surface of Lake Superior. The wreckage of the Fitzgerald was later discovered. It was in two large pieces. It rested on the lake bed. This was at a depth of 530 feet. The exact cause of the Fitzgerald's sinking remains a mystery. There are many theories. Some speculate that the ship may have been overwhelmed by a series of rogue waves. These waves can reach incredible heights. They can swamp even the largest vessels. Others believe that the Fitzgerald may have struck an uncharted shoal. This could have ripped a hole in its hull. Another theory suggests that the Fitzgerald's cargo hatches may have failed. This would have allowed water to flood the cargo hold. This could have caused the ship to capsize rapidly. The investigation by the Coast Guard concluded that the most likely cause of the sinking was a combination of factors. These included the severity of the storm, the loss of the ship's radar, and possible flooding in the cargo hold. Section 6. Echoes of the tragedy. The sinking of the Edmund Fitzgerald sent shockwaves throughout the Great Lakes shipping community. It served as a stark reminder of the power of nature. It also highlighted the risks faced by those who sail these waters. The tragedy had a profound impact on the families of the lost sailors. They were left to cope with the sudden loss of their loved ones. In the aftermath of the sinking, there was an outpouring of grief and support. Memorial services were held in communities around the Great Lakes. The story of the Fitzgerald captured the public's imagination. It became a symbol of the perils of life on the Great Lakes. The Fitzgerald story was immortalized in song by Canadian singer-songwriter Gordon Lightfoot. Lightfoot's haunting ballad, The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, was released in 1976. It quickly climbed the charts. It became one of his most popular songs. The song tells the story of the Fitzgerald's last voyage. It pays tribute to the men who lost their lives. The song's popularity helped to keep the memory of the Fitzgerald alive. It introduced the tragedy to a new generation. Section 7. The Edmund Fitzgerald's enduring legacy. The sinking of the SS. Edmund Fitzgerald remains one of the most well-known maritime disasters in history. It serves as a powerful reminder of the unpredictable nature of the Great Lakes. It also highlights the bravery and sacrifice of those who make their living on these waters. The Fitzgerald story continues to fascinate and intrigue people around the world. The wreck of the Fitzgerald is now an underwater memorial. It is a protected site. It is illegal to disturb the wreckage. Divers have visited the site. They have captured haunting images of the ship. These images serve as a reminder of the tragedy. They also offer a glimpse into the past. The Fitzgerald story has been the subject of numerous books, documentaries, and articles. The legacy of the Edmund Fitzgerald lives on. It is a reminder of the power of the Great Lakes. It is a testament to the courage of those who sail them. The Fitzgerald story is a tale of tragedy, mystery, and enduring human spirit. It continues to resonate with people today.